You've probably seen the pictures, right? Gleaming skyscrapers, ancient temples. But what about the stuff in between? What do the street corners and subway ads really tell us? Well, in this explainer, we're going to take a visual journey on the ground to explore the fascinating and sometimes really contradictory realities of modern China, one photo at a time.
So it really boils down to this one question. What does daily life in the world's most populous country actually look like? It sounds simple, but the answer is anything but. So let's just push past all the headlines for a bit. We're going to go on a visual tour and really get into the texture of everyday life. You know, what you'd actually see on a street corner, in a train station, or just walking through a public square.
And bam, right away. This just perfectly sums up the core tension we're talking about. Look at this. On the left, you have a government banner, all about collective political unity. And then on the right, it's a subway ad for a U.S. study program that literally says, "Reject cookie-cutter documents. I want to write out my personality." I mean, you can't make this up. It's the group versus the individual, side by side, just a few feet apart. This is the central conflict we're going to unpack.
All right, first up, the signs of the state. We're talking about the visual presence of the party and the government in public spaces. So let's start by looking at how the state makes its presence known. Because in China, political ideology, it's not just some abstract idea. It's literally woven into the fabric of the physical world around you.
And you see it in scenes just like this one, a big, bold red wall celebrating the party, and it's built right into a neighborhood street. Seriously, this kind of thing is as common as seeing a local convenience store. It's a constant, everyday reminder of the political system. Now, check this out. What's so interesting here is where this photo was taken. This isn't some government building. Nope, it's at a tourist site. Think about that. The message, always follow the party, together build the China dream. It's placed right where people are going to relax and have fun. The political narrative becomes part of your day off.
And it's not just small signs either. The scale can be absolutely massive. Here you've got this huge electronic banner hanging over a super crowded transit hub. The message? The party's goal is to make the people's aspiration for a better life a reality. It's a powerful statement, impossible to miss, and it directly ties the big national ambition to your personal well-being.
Okay, so that's one side of the coin. Now let's talk about the consumer realm, because running right alongside that world of the state is this other equally powerful force. We're talking about modern commerce, slick technology, and personal choice. This is the engine that's driving so much, and it exists right next to all those structures of political control.
30? Just 30? What does that even mean? I mean, in a country of over 1 billion people, the number 30 seems pretty insignificant, right? But in the world of modern Chinese commerce, it tells this really fascinating story about a whole different kind of promise.
That number, 30, represents this: a 30-day no-reason returns policy, and it's being advertised right here to tourists. Now, this isn't a sign about your duty to the state. This is all about your rights as an individual consumer. It's a sign of a super sophisticated, competitive market where, the customer is king.
And this whole consumer economy is powered by some absolutely incredible infrastructure. Just look at this place. It's a massive, futuristic, high-speed rail station. This right here, this is basically the circulatory system of modern China, zipping hundreds of millions of people around with insane speed and efficiency.
And that modernity, it goes all the way down to the smallest little transactions. Check out the payment options on these ticket machines. You've got Alipay, WeChat Pay, bank cards, Union Pay, the whole shebang. It's this world of seamless, high-tech convenience, where pretty much everything just happens with a tap of your phone.
All right, Section 3, Order and Control. So you've got this top-down state narrative on one hand, and this booming bottom-up consumer world on the other. So what holds it all together? Well, it's a very visible framework of order and security. And that's the third essential piece of this visual puzzle.
The presence of law enforcement is pretty much everywhere, and it's fundamental to how things work. I mean, look at this. Even out here, nestled against this absolutely breathtaking mountain range, what do you find? A police station. It's a quiet but powerful reminder that the state's authority reaches into every single corner of the country.
And it's not just about buildings either. The presence is active. You see it right here in this busy public square. An officer in full tactical gear just standing guard. And this is a really common sight in any high-traffic area. It's about projecting security and, well, deterring any kind of disorder. And that readiness is absolutely key. This picture, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? All these police riot helmets and shields just laid out, ready to go. It's a quiet image for sure, but it's also a crystal clear display of preparedness. It sends a message that the state is always ready to maintain stability.
Okay, and now we get to the really interesting part. China's contradictions. This is where all these different worlds collide and coexist, often in the very same picture. Because these three themes we've been looking at, the state, the consumer, and control, they don't just exist in their own separate boxes. Oh no, they are constantly colliding, overlapping, and creating these totally surreal scenes that, for me, really define modern China.
And I think the best way to wrap your head around what's coming next is with this simple idea. It's not either or, it's both and. This isn't about trying to pick which picture is the real China. The whole point is that it's all real. All of these realities exist at the exact same time.
Just take a look at this. On the left, you've got a building block set of a Navy aircraft carrier. So national military power is literally being packaged as a child's toy. Then, on the right, you have this wonderful scene of people just enjoying a public dance together. A beautiful, spontaneous community moment. And where is it happening? Right in front of a massive state-owned bank. So you have national power's playtime and personal joy happening in a state-controlled space.
Or how about this one? This is just wonderfully strange. You have a government-run blood donation center, right? A place of serious civic duty. And it's sitting directly next to this brightly lit kids' carnival ride with, I guess, whimsical chickens on it. The serious and the silly, the state and pure spectacle, sharing the exact same tiny piece of land. It's amazing.
Here, the contrast is really between the huge and the very personal. Look up, and there's this massive red banner declaring, "Maintaining national security starts with you and me." It's this big, collective call to action. But then you look down, and right beneath it, there's just a person, a traveler, taking a quiet moment to rest, asleep on the super clean floor. You've got the giant national story and the small, simple human reality, literally in the same shot.
And, if there's one single image that could sum this whole thing up, it might be this one. On one side, you've got a police barricade, the ultimate symbol of order, control, clear boundaries. And then what's happening? Someone in a red panda mascot costume is just playfully leaning up against it. That's fun, it's commerce, it's total lightheartedness. You have control and whimsy literally leaning on each other.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? I think it's that in modern China, the lines are often just completely blurred. The line between the political and the personal, between what's controlled and what's chaotic, between the state's grand ambition and an individual's simple desire, they're not just blurred. They're constantly, and in a really fascinating way, all tangled up together.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. When you look at this incredibly complex picture, you just have to wonder, how does a society actually navigate a future that's defined by such different, coexisting realities? There's no easy answer, of course, but whatever it is, it's being written every single day on the streets, the signs, and the screens all across China.